The former Lucchese consigliere, Joe DiNapoli, passed away last Monday and was waked at the Balsamo Funeral Parlor in the Bronx, a business owned by the family of West Side Captain Ralphie Balsamo, as well as a place where many Bronx guys are also laid out. It's actually how Balsamo earned his nickname, Ralphie the Undertaker. Joe had a long history with the Lucchese family and held such positions as the captain of a Bronx crew, a member of the ruling panel, and consigliere. Oddly enough, both his brothers were with the West Side, members of the Genovese family. The DiNapolis were big players in the construction industry and labor racketeering. Some reports have Joe as a Purple, a member of the East Harlem Purple Gang. I don't believe this to be true. He obviously associated with its members, but I never heard of Joe being a member himself. His latest arrest and convictions was for a 2007 multi-million-dollar gambling case dubbed Operation Heat, and a superseding indictment in 2009 involving that same gambling case, among other charges. He was sentenced in April 2016 to 1 to 3 years, with both those cases running concurrently. In 2017, Joe was a part of the big Lucchese indictment, and I believe he received 52 months when he was sentenced in 2019. Joe was someone who attended my induction ceremony in April 2013. Following the ceremony, Joe was one of the first people to approach me and said to me while pointing to Matty Madonna, "Do you know who this is?" Despite knowing, I replied no, and Joe officially introduced Matty as the acting boss. Then Matty asked if I knew who Joe was. Again, I answered no, and he officially introduced Joe as the family's consigliere. And for those unfamiliar, that word equates to counselor, someone who mediates beefs or issues within the family and outside the family if need be. He's also a member of the family's administration and can advise the boss, acting boss, and underboss as well. We had a nickname for Joe, and that was Navy, due to his being colorblind, and while propping his feet up one day, the words Navy was written under one of his shoes. As far as the mechanics of the mob, Joe was very wise and crafty, but I also witnessed a treacherous side as well with certain guys, which I found to be a disappointment because it went against what Cosa Nostra was supposed to be. Despite that, I always enjoyed my talks with Joe, and he loved that life. For example, if someone mentioned the name Frankie, Joe would quickly add, "Oh, you mean our Frankie." He was a Lucchese through and through. Joe was always dressed. I never seen him in casual clothes. Always a pair of slacks, shoes, and some type of sweater or button-down shirt, which were usually short-sleeved because he was always hot. Joe represents another old-timer that the mob lost, and as per tradition, a new name will be passed around to replace him as a member. But then again, can the new really replace the old? I hope Joe rests in peace.